Bitcoins and beer, Bitcoins and beer. Here is Norm, he's a storm, as he screams and raves and rants. He is here drinking beer, spilling Bitcoins on his pants. Hello, it's me, Norm again, here once again to drink beer and talk about Bitcoins. And I know it's been a really long time since I've done this, and there's been so much stuff going on in the Bitcoin space. Well, the cryptocurrency space, I should say. And I haven't been keeping up to date. I've been busy. Sorry. Been busy. I have lots of other things. It's just kind of for recreation, not for academic purposes. Maybe if it was for academic purposes, I could improve my life. I don't know. Just study things. Find things fun to watch, entertaining, that most people find academics, like economics and computers and stuff like that. But today's beer is Racer 5. Racer 5. Once again, we got the Starship Enterprise coming to lift the cap off the beer. There we go. Very good beer. One of my favorites. I kind of feel them tonight. Kind of a reason why I decided to do another Thursday night rant. Today, I really don't want to talk about Bitcoin as much as what is going on and exploding in the cryptocurrency sphere. What is exploding right now is the DAO. They're relating it to a Mt. Gox situation, which I can kind of get, because Mt. Gox was, in case you don't know, in case you're new to the cryptocurrency scene, Mt. Gox was a exchange. It was not only a exchange, it was the first exchange. And Mt. Gox was actually not Mt. Gox, it's Mt. Gox. It was an anagram for Magic the Gathering online exchange, I believe, and it was actually originally created to trade Magic the Gathering cards. It ended up being the first Bitcoin exchange, which actually did do something for Bitcoin other than blowing it up the first time. It gave it a value. Before Mt. Gox, Bitcoins had really no value until you have some sort of exchange or some sort of, I don't know, value is a very hard thing to explain because it is subjective, like I explained to you in my previous videos. But Mt. Gox actually gave Bitcoin a value. Before that, I don't want to say it was valueless. It wasn't valueless. It's just nobody knew what the value was. You know, they could be paying 10,000 Bitcoins or 10 Bitcoins for the same item, and they had no idea what they were worth. Because they weren't exchanging them for currency, per se US dollars if you're in my neck of the woods, or the euro, or the whatever your currency happened to be. They were buying items, and I remember the first item I ever saw being sold for Bitcoin was some sort of World of Warcraft sword, and I thought it was like kind of World of Warcraft gold or something like that at the time, the very first time I saw it, and that's how come I kind of stayed away for about a year after that, because I'm not a gamer. But we're talking about the DAO. We're going to talk about the DAO. And you remember my last video, I did tell everybody, if I even posted that, I'm not even sure if I posted it, the altcoins I was kind of playing with. And I play with altcoins every now and then. I told you about Dogecoin is my experimental coin, where like if I we didn't have too many altcoins when I was first starting out in the Bitcoin sphere, so I had to experiment with Bitcoins. Wasn't very expensive at the time, but now if you think about it, amount of Bitcoins I probably lost experimenting is very, I don't know, heartbreaking. I'm already 5 minutes into it because I'm digressing. So I will continue in just a minute. Okay, let's talk about the Dow. And I'm not talking about the Dow Jones, which is DOW, I believe. I'm talking about DOA. I'm not talking about the Dow at the Tao of poo, or the Dow and the motorcycle maintenance thing. I'm talking about, or the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching, which is a great book, by the way. What DAO stands for is centralized autonomous organization. And so what that is, well, exactly what the vocabulary says it is, decentralized autonomous organization. Pretty straightforward. Ethereum was built to make, instead of being a currency like Bitcoin, they wanted to do more of smart contracts. Let's say you have a warranty or something like that. And with the Internet of Things, you can just download a blockchain to a Raspberry Pi or something like that. It's amazing how small these Wi-Fi can constantly keep up whatever the blockchain that it's keeping up. Not the Bitcoin blockchain, but any blockchain device like a refrigerator or a dishwasher or a washing machine, the stereo, I don't know. And once that warranty's up, it'll be on that blockchain that is also synchronizing with anything else in the blockchain of the Internet of Things that manufacture, maybe, or maybe even Ethereum. Ethereum was more made to be a legal, contractual sort of thing where you buy Ethereum or gas, and like if you're driving, and you burn up the gas. I don't know. Gosh, I've had way too many of these beers to explain this whole thing. But Ethereum was made to be a blockchain like this idea of smart contracts anyway, holding not value so much so to per se. Like Bitcoin was meant to be a vehicle for value, to transfer value from one place to another, affordably without any bureaucracy or middlemen, semi-anonymously, not complete, but then again transparent, kind of like an email message, because email is not completely anonymous. But hopefully you're following me, because I'm not sure if I'm following myself. So there was the DAO was the first application. Well, I'm not sure if it was the very first, but maybe one of the first to be built with Ethereum. But they happened to find a bug in the DAO, or somebody did. I'm pretty sure it was the guy from Brave New Coin, because he said for 3 weeks before that on Bitcoin Talk that it was going to happen, and then all of a sudden it happened. Imagine that. Nobody's even accused him yet. What's the guy's name? I'll get right back to it. Tone Vase is the guy's name. I'm not accusing him, but I am saying he's a suspect, since he was practically bragging about it for 3 weeks before the hack happened. But then again, on Bitcoins and Gravy, what's his name? John Barrett interviewed one of the Slock guys, actually explaining the DAO, and that might have also tipped off the attacker. Because I really didn't understand the whole thing. I understood Ethereum to a point, but I didn't understand the DAO, which is why I had nothing in the DAO. So even though I hold Ethereum, which isn't much. And speaking of that, they're saying like millions of dollars got stolen from the Dow. But if you think about it, the people that probably put their coins in the Dow, you got to remember, it was only a few months ago you can buy Ethereum for $1 or under. So Ethereum went up at an exponential rate, like 90%. So if you put $100 into Ethereum a couple months ago, you have 100. Wait. If you put, what did I say? If you put $100 into the Ethereum just a couple months ago, and it was like, let's say $1, just to, you have $1,000. So if people put like a couple $100 into Ethereum, I'm guessing that most of the people that put the Ethereum into the Dow probably bought it when it was close to $1-ish or less. So yes, they did lose lots of money, but money out of their pocket and money earned from Ethereum is two different things. So I'm just putting that out there. Many of you might have still don't know what I'm talking about. Hopefully I'm making sense. Okay, the Dow was kind of an application you bought into. You created, as far as I understand, you created a Dow coin from Ethereum. I don't know if this works like what is that party? One where I have lots of LBT coins. Whatever the party one is. I like the Doge party, but whatever. I'm way too drunk to explain this. Well, you put Ethereum into the Dow. And if you didn't put Ethereum into the Dow, you have nothing to worry about. Kind of like if you didn't put any Bitcoins into empty Gox. You had nothing to worry about losing your Bitcoins. And to tell you the truth, most people that put Bitcoins in empty Gox probably were, not most of them, but I would say fairly a lot of them probably had the same situation where they bought the Bitcoins dirt cheap and then all of a sudden they were $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's like a wild weekend in Vegas where you're $1,000 up when you came there with $10 in your pocket and you leave there broke. In actuality, all you lost was $10. But at one time you had $1,000. So I can sympathize with that. But at the same time, you really, unless you put your life savings into it, which if you did, you're a fool. I'm sorry. You're basically defending your own case without a lawyer, without a professional lawyer. Man has himself as a client, as a lawyer, or I can't remember how that went to either, but whatever. So this hack took place on the Dow. It wasn't Ethereum. It did affect Ethereum, just like MTGOX affected Bitcoin, the price, but it really didn't affect it that much because, Ethereum went up to $20 and it dropped back down to $12, and it was still high at $12. So I really don't think it affected it that much. I really think it's a good idea. I'm really into kind of DigiCash right now. The Dash used to be Darkcoin, which they had to rebrand, kind of get away from the Silk Road status with the Darkcoin. But I really like that whole idea. And in actuality, the Dash is a DAO because it's a decentralized, autonomous organization. Just like in Monty Python, it's like, I am your king. We have a king? Who did you think ruled you? I thought we were an autonomous collective. There's some lovely filth down here, by the way. So if you don't understand Monty Python, you're too young. And if you're too young, read Ready Play Run. It's a great book. But, sorry, I'm digressing so much I cannot finish this. And this is probably way too long. It's probably going into 20 minutes now, maybe. But, let me know your comments. Comment. I will respond, hopefully, if I have time. And this weekend, hopefully I'll have time because I have days off work. Ooh, gosh. But let me know your comments. Let me know what you think of my mindset after you hit a couple of beers, of course. And my whole idea of this whole thing. Watch some of my previous videos, because nobody else does. Cheers. Enjoy your beer. It's those you saved, it's those you earned, by the way. Ripping that off from Benjamin Franklin, but who cares?